Welcome back to Waters Ironworks. We're going to go a little out of the planned series of videos that I had today because very sadly a local Austin blacksmith passed away recently. I was out at the estate sale yesterday and picked up a number of great items and just wanted to kind of show everybody the new stuff that I got. Well, new to me. I don't think any of it is new, definitely all antiques. We're going to take a look at some woodworking stuff first that I picked up, then I'll clear this table off and we'll bring in some blacksmithing items. Let's take a look at the first part of what I got, and that is a lot of different woodworking tools. I have never done a ton of woodworking. I have been thinking about getting into it, so I snapped these up when I saw them. We have a number of, what is this, Bailey presses here, or wood planes here, a number 6, a number 5, 3 number 4s that all look to be, for the most part, in great shape. A couple missing pieces here and there. We've got this really great hand crank drill that I think is just absolutely fabulous. A couple wood planes. I'm not sure who the manufacturer is on this. This is a DE 5.5. If anybody knows, feel free to drop it in the comments. And then these two wood planes as well. I don't see a manufacturer's mark on it, but I haven't cleaned them up yet, so maybe it is there somewhere. But great looking wood planes. This one especially is in an amazing shape. We have a couple Stanley tools, 2 Stanley 110, I think is the number on it, wood planes. A Stanley number 18, I don't know, spoke shave or something like that. I'm not sure what the right term for this tool is, but I mean, looks great. We also have a, I'm not sure, ever been used, Craftsman smoothing plane, still in the box. Just absolutely fantastic shape on it. We even know that it was packed by number 575, so if I do find any problems with this one, I will write back to them and let them know who did the quality assurance on this. So this is a blacksmithing channel. I did want to show these woodworking tools. Let me clear this table off. I'm going to bring in some other tools, including 2 that I'd love to see. Well, one of them I don't know what it is, and one of them I'd love to see everybody else guess as to what they think it is as well. So give me just a second to clear this off and I'll be right back with you. So I've got some of the blacksmithing stuff up on the table here. There's still the 2 mystery items that I'm going to show at the end and have you guys guess on what they are and help me figure out what one of them is. And then there are 2 big blacksmithing items as well that we'll take a look at here that are really, I think, the key to what I was able to get yesterday. So I did manage to pick up 3 of these great old wrenches. These things are, I think, super neat, and taking a look at them and how they're manufactured, this may actually wind up being a project where we try and create one of these ourselves. I don't see anything in here that a reasonably competent blacksmith could not manufacture on their own. I do think there's a couple neat things. One, this one's got a bit of mushrooming on the back right here, which to me says that from time immemorial people have used their wrenches as hammers. I'm guessing that's what's causing the deformation there. And then this one actually says Ford right up here at the top. So I'm not sure if this was a mechanic's wrench or something like that, but I will definitely be looking into it more. If anybody's familiar with this and has some links they can send me, please do. Please put them in the comments. I did pick up a couple hammers. I got this one for myself, nice little rounding hammer. I'm guessing that's hand forged, but hard to know for sure. I also picked this little hammer up for myself. Fun little guy. Cross peen hammer there. I got a, I'm guessing that this is a hot cut here. it will need to be rehandled. It's got a split handle on it, but great struck tool there. For a friend of mine, JT, who's a blacksmith, I'll drop a link to his site. He sells some stuff on Etsy. I picked up a couple things for him, a ball peen hammer and a nice cross peen hammer, as well as a pair of hand-forged wolf jaw tongs that look great. And then I picked up a couple Hardy tools for myself, really just some shaping tools. So, right, a hitch on the end of a 1-inch shank here, great for shaping different projects. Another little Hardy tool right here, bending fork, and this guy right here is actually for making fishtail scrolls. So you take a piece of flat stock, put it in there, hammer down on it, and you get this fishtail pattern on the back end here. I love making fishtail scrolls. You guys will definitely see this one in use. And then I got two bench vices, which both look to be in excellent shape. Everything still moves on them. This one will need some new jaws on it, but that's easy to do. So I'm very excited to get these cleaned up. I don't have a bench vise now, so one of these will probably be going on my bench very shortly. Let me pause once again. I'm going to bring out the first of the two big items, and then we still have the two mystery items to take a look at as well. So I'll be right back. This was definitely one of the big finds. They actually had 3 leg vices that they were selling out there. I went out with a couple other guys from Pioneer Farms who picked up the other 2 leg vices. And I picked this one up for my buddy JT. It is an absolutely massive 70-pound leg vise that is in beautiful working condition. Jaws on it I think are 5 or 5.5 inches. JT has not had a leg vise, so I think he's going to be extremely happy with this thing. And it is definitely a real beast of a leg vise. So very exciting. I'm going to go grab the thing I really bought for myself. We'll toss that up here on the anvil and show it to you guys. And then we'll take a look at those mystery items. I'm back. I actually made my cameraman, who Gregory is a bodybuilder, lift this for me. Toss it up here on the anvil. 113-pound swage block. I absolutely love swage blocks. I don't know why. There's a lot of useful stuff you can do with them. Although, you know, some blacksmiths do say that they mostly are a tripping hazard in the blacksmith shop. But I think that they are just fantastic. So I was super excited to be able to get this. It is a pretty good sized swage block, certainly a lot bigger than the other 2 that I've got. So that is my swage block collection so far. I hope to continue adding to it. That way, if I ever have to move, I will regret buying all these things. Giant chunks of metal, always a lot of fun. Let me grab the 2 mystery items, and we'll see if you guys can figure out what they are. Mystery item number 1. This one, I do actually know what it is, but I'd love for people to take a guess. There's a couple things to look at. It's got different holes of different sizes in there. You'll also notice that, I mean, it's clearly handmade, right? A couple pieces of angle iron welded together. The question I'd kind of have, and this will give some clue as to what it is why this, which would have been a single piece of metal originally, most likely, was cut in half and then the holes drilled into it like this. If you think you've got some ideas, drop it in the comments. Let me know. The second mystery item, and I am not sure exactly what this little guy is for. It says gem on it. It is patented, although there's no patent number. And it's got nice smooth action on it here. Rivet setter maybe? I'm not sure. If you have any ideas, what this is, definitely let me know. I am excited to find out, and I'd love to get it back into use. There is one other thing that I did get. Actually, two more things. I almost forgot. There was a lot of stuff there. Managed to pick up this great Champion blower. This is actually for Pioneer Farms. We try and keep everything 1890s. This blower is really probably more like 1930s, 1920s maybe. But it is in great shape and certainly looks a lot more period appropriate than an electric blower or even the modern aluminum blowers that folks like Centaur Forge make. And the final thing that I bought, this will make a lot of blacksmiths, I'm sure, very excited. Man, just a whole bucket full of railroad spikes. So what exactly I'm going to do with these, I don't know. But, you know, according to blacksmiths, you can never have too many railroad spikes. So we'll figure out some projects to do with those. Again, a little different than our normal videos, but I did manage to pick up some pretty exciting stuff and just wanted to share with everybody what I was able to get from the estate sale. So thank you guys so much. We will return to our normally scheduled programming next week and take a look at a project. So thanks again. Safe smithing.